In real world, it is imperative that we measure what we are deploying. And that is equally valid for AI powered applications and all of these large language models. But how do we measure LLMs and AI powered applications backed up by these LLMs? That is where I see that still there is not much progress being made. We do have some tools from open source and also some of the API based which provide you some observability and other insights into what is happening in LLMs, what sort of API calls are being made. But I believe there is a lot to be done in this area. That is where Opik tries to help out. This is another open source and ready to run tool which provides you full LLM evaluation feature set. Still, I believe there is a lot of room of improvement in Opik, but as I said, it is still very early project, and the good thing is that it is open source and free. You can deploy it locally and then you can use it. They do have a cloud-based offering, which I believe is a paid offering and for enterprises. So if you're looking to deploy it in the production, I would suggest that go to their website and read through their terms and conditions as what sort of licensing they are offering. But we will be focusing on the free open source version, which is available on GitHub, and I will drop the link in video's description. For this, the license is Apache 2, which is quite generous, I must say. So we are going to install it locally, the Opik, and then we will see how it works with LLMs. Before I do that, let me give a huge shout out to Massed Compute who are sponsoring the VM and GPU for this video. If you are looking to rent a GPU on affordable prices, I will drop the link to their website in video's description. Plus, I'm also going to give you a coupon code of 50% discount on a range of GPUs. For the purpose of this video, I will be using OpenAI's platform that is integrated with Opik. It also supports at the moment LangChain and couple of other integrations, but no Olama or any other thing. So I believe down the road, I'm sure that they are going to support it because still very early project. So as soon as they do, we'll create another video. But for the basic objective of this video is to show you the observability uh, interface and how that works locally by using Opik. So because I'll be using platform.openai.com's API key, so that's a paid option. If you're following along, I would highly suggest you go and grab your key right now. Okay, so let's go and try to get this thing installed. This is the system which I'm using, and this is my GPU card, NVIDIA RTX A6000 with 48 GB of VRAM, courtesy Massed Compute. But as I said, we will be using API based one, so you really don't need GPU for this tool to get it installed. Let me clear the screen. Let me create a virtual environment with Conda because I would just want to keep everything separate from my local system. Let's wait for it to get installed. So my Conda environment is created. Another thing which we would need is Docker installed. And let me see. Yep. So my Docker is installed. If you don't know how to install it, please search the channel and you should be able to find it. And in the Conda environment, we sometimes need to set these permissions on Docker socket file. So I have just done that. Now, in order to get this installed, we would need some prerequisites. For that, include torch transformers and then Opik itself. So you see at the last line, I'm installing Opik and OpenAI. So let me install it. This is going to take a couple of minutes. So let's wait for it to get installed. All the prerequisites are done. Next up, let me set my OpenAI's API key in the environment and clear the screen. That is done. Let me git clone the repo of Opik and I will drop the link to it in video's description. That is done. Next up, let's cd to its Docker Compose directory within that repo. That is also done. And now let's start up the Opik platform locally by using Docker Compose. And I'm just going to press enter here. It is going to download all of this stuff. It is going to take a bit of a time, not much. Let's wait for it to get started. And everything is started now. Let me access it on localhost at port 5173 and you can see that Opik is now running here. Let me make it slightly bigger. So this is our default project and all that stuff. You can even create a new project here. But let me now show you how you can use it to do the observability and instrumentation. So maybe I'll just go and create a new code in my VS Code. Let me open it here. And this is a code which you can use in order to use Opik. So you see that I'm just simply importing the libraries we have installed. I am setting Opik to be using the local config true. If you want to use their cloud-based system, you would just put it false. I already have set the environment key in the environment variable, otherwise it is going to ask you. And then we are importing some OpenAI integration, and then we are setting this default project. This is the same name which you can use here, or you can just create a new project. And then from there we are just instantiating the client, we are giving it a prompt, and then we are calling this GPT 3.5 turbo model, which is quite cheap, and then we are printing the response out. So let me run it, and then we will go to Opix console to see how it works. So let me run this. I have just called it test.py. So as soon as I have run it, it is saying that found local Opic instance here. Do you want to use it? Just press Y. And there you go. So it is, my prompt was tell me a story about happiness. So there is a happiness story here, that true happiness and all that stuff. So let me take you to my browser now to see what happened in the local instance. So if you just click on this default project here, there you go. So you see this is our name, this is our input, this is our output. And then once you click on it, it is going to tell you this was API call which was made, and then there is some other information around that. This was the input in proper format, and then it also has given us the output, what was the finished reason, and then content refusal and all that uh, output score. And then this is a feedback score here, and then some of the metadata if there was any, which you can grab from here. Now, and this tool is not just confined to the trace of your application or API calls. You can even deal with data sets. A data set is a collection of samples that your LLM application will be evaluated on, and data sets only store the input and expected output for each sample. The output from your LLM application will be computed and scored during the evaluation process. But make sure that your data set is not too big, otherwise, if you're doing API calls, it could be quite expensive. Then they have something like experiments, which is a single evaluation of your LLM application. During an experiment, they process each dataset item, compute the output based on your LLM application, and then score the output. So you can run various experiments. This feedback definition is simply the annotation which you can use in order to gather data for fine tuning or track performance or identify areas for improvement. And annotating traces is quite a crucial aspect of evaluating and improving your LLM application. And because by systematically recording qualitative or quantitative feedback on specific interactions could be quite beneficial. For example, this was our project. We just ran this chat completion. If you click on it, on the top right you see this annotate button. You click here, and then you just create a feedback definition is something like test, and then is it categorical or is it numerical? I believe, yep, is it numerical? And then you can add more categories, that what sort of criteria or category you want to build it upon. And of course that depends upon your application and whatever use case. It is quite customizable, as you saw. So good stuff. I mean, and the best thing is that you saw that installation is easy. You run it all private local, especially if you're using a local model. So the only thing which I can think of is that if it would be um, integrated with olama or llama.cpp or lm studio or any such tool with local private models without any API calls, I think that will be really useful and beneficial, because at the moment it only is integrated with OpenAI, LangChain, Llama Index, and Predibase. That's it. Um, Also, another cool thing is that not only you can run it on local instance like this on the cloud, but also you can run it on Kubernetes, because it is all Dockerized, containerized. So it's just a matter of writing your Kubernetes template file to create a deployment and services around it. So yeah, so that's it. I will drop the link to it in video description. Let me know what do you think. If you like the content, please consider subscribing to the channel. If you're already subscribed, please share it among your network as it helps a lot. Thank you for watching.